Hi, my name is Daniel Padilla, and today I'll be talking about the California Alpines. So, as you can see here, the Alpines are located near the middle or near the Sierra Nevadas, and the distribution of the Alpines has changed over time due to the amount of forest fires and deforestation that has been created by humans. You can find the Alpines in other parts of the world, including the Andes Mountains, the Rockies, and the Alps. Okay, so how is the climate and the geology of the Alpines? So the soil is usually made up of a little bit of gelisols, but it's mostly made up of inceptisols with photosols under it. Every 1,000 meters of elevation, there's a 10-degree difference in temperature, and that is in Celsius. And depending on elevation and slope phase direction, there can be lots of snow and lots of rain. Some of the many seasons that you can see here are long winters and very short summers, as well as the weather extremes of being just very cold and having lots of snow and lots of rain. How's the ecosystem respond to this? Small vegetation are usually close to the ground because there isn't a lot of CO2 for them to consume, and less rainfall and less vegetation, as well as acidic soil from human pollution, has caused the alpines to deteriorate in quality. So many of the plant populations that you can find in the California alpines are the white mountain heather, or the Cassiope martensiana, the granite gilia, or the Lanthus pungens, or the bush cinquefoil, or the Pintilia fruticosa. So uh, the white mountain heather is adapted to the alpine environment by being very short. It's under 8 foot tall, and this is because of constant winds. The granite gilia is also very short, and it has needle-like leaves and is adapted to the constant cold temperature. And the bush cinquefoil is a yellow flower that is considered a dwarf and is very short to keep itself from winds, and it bears fruit which allows itself to spread seeds very widely. The only endemic species that we were able to find were the Teolome fonduli, the California verbena, the California draba, the White Mountains draba, the Moorfield cinquefoil, as well as the plants listed here. We couldn't find any endangered species or threatened species, but we did find one that was at risk of becoming extinct species, and that is the lupine plant. Some of the invasive species that we found are the houndstange plant, the Brazilian Ingeria, the hedgehog grasstail grass, or dogtail grass rather, the hedgehog dogtail grass, and the Eurasian water milfoil. Okay, so moving forward, we have the mammals and bird populations. So some of the common mammals and birds that you can see in the alpines are the American black bear, or the Ursus americanus, the Steller's jays, Cyanoceta stelleri, and the elk, or the Cervus canadensis. The black bear is able to hibernate during the winter, and is able to store up fat by eating lots of food and just keeping itself warm by just sleeping in caves. The stellar jay I actually found to be the most interesting. Mimics certain cells to help attract mates and just ward off other predatory animals. And then the mountain elk is adapted to the ecosystem by having its fur be thick and warm for the winter, as well as their hooves being designed for fast running and just being able to get rid of or not being able to rid, but just getting away from predators quickly. Some of the endemic species that you can find are the great gray owl, the Sierra Nevada, the white-tailed jackrabbit, and as well as these animals right here, the American black bear, the Silistri, and the elk. Some of the endangered species, however, are the grizzly bear and the red-tailed chipmunk. Okay, so moving forward, we have our reptiles and amphibian populations. And so the three main ones are the Sierra Nevada yellow-legged frog, or the Rana sierra, the southern mountain yellow-legged frog, or the Rana muscosa, and the long-toed salamander, the Empistoma macrodactylium crocium. And so both of the frogs on the left are able to live on the bottom of the lakes during winters when they're frozen over, and then are able to get out when it thaws. And then on the right, the long-toed salamander is able to hibernate during long winters by burying itself in the ground. Some of the endemic species that you're able to find in the alpines are the Yosemite toad and the Sierra newt, as well as all these species right here. And then, however, the endangered species are the two on the left, the Sierra Nevada yellow-legged frog and the Southern Mountain yellow-legged frog, as well as the endemic species, the Yosemite toad, are all endangered. Okay, so what is the current status in the management of the Alpines? So as of right now, the California ecosystem is still intact. And kind of the biggest issue that the Alpine is facing right now is logging, and kind of just well over half of California's productive forest lands are located in its national forests, which most of these federal lands are in the Sierra. And some of the problems the Alpines are facing is invasive species, which is the yellow star thistle, and the yellow star thistle is a widespread throughout California, and there's an eastward leading edge in the Sierra Nevada. Within the last 20 years, this yellow star thistle has increased from 1 to 12 million acres. And the government right now are implementing weed management strategies such as the Southern California Province Land Management and Resource Plan. And so some of the non-major agencies that you can find to help with this is the Sierra Nevada Alliance, which is a nonprofit group that protects and preserves the region. The Sierra Nevada Alliance protects and restores the natural environment of the area and helps ensure healthy and sustainable communities. And so the major agency you can help, or the major government agency that's preserving the alpines right now is the Sierra Nevada Conservancy. And the Sierra Nevada Conservancy is one of the largest conservancies in the U.S. and the state of California, obviously, and is the largest state conservation of its size to kind of put out this effort. So, kind of what are the major reserves and preserve parks that you can find? And obviously, one of the biggest names is Yosemite National Park. And one of our teammates, Zachary, has been there, and it's like surrounded by massive cliffs and waterfalls, and it's just beautiful. And kind of like the weather there is just very hot in the summers and like very cold during the winters. And kind of just like what he did over there was sightseeing and hiking, and I also went there, and that's kind of what the things I did, and it was just very beautiful. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, on the map right here, this is where Yosemite is, and yeah, this is my sites, my works cited list, and yeah, that'll be it. Bye.